Good morning, guys, and welcome to my channel. I have checked my post this morning, and I got 2 votes saying that they want me to do a random country video. So I'm going to be doing a history video recover of Legtopia, since it's one of the countries I have never gotten to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start. So basically, this will be the intro to my video, of course, and I'll see you when I'll teach you the history of Legtopia then. So let's begin. Okay, so let's get into Legtopia's history from the beginning. Legtopia was a country before it was founded by the Aryan forces in the year 2010. The countries that discovered Legtopia were Legtopian, Greentopian, and Tasmanian missionaries from the Toylandian Islands. When the army forces began to infiltrate the country in 2011, they didn't negotiate with the leader of the country and started to round them up and put them in concentration camps. The invasion lasted a year because the leader, President Wilson, decided to make a deal with the army forces by splitting the land for them to colonize as long as they leave some property for them to keep, which they agreed, and let everyone go and rename the country to the once Legtopia to Plastopia. Now we're going to go into Legtopia over the years, the wars they have been involved in, and what are they doing now. Guys, so as I was saying before, we are now learning about the events and wars that led up to Legtopia being what it is today, and what they are now today, and what they're doing today in modern day time. So, Legtopia over the years, part 1. During the month of November of the same year, the Green and Tan War began, and both forces and their allies made an alliance with Legtopia, which resulted them in splitting their forces up with the nations. When the Green and Tan War ended on May 3rd, 2020, the nation was then at peace, but as months went by, they were not involved in other conflicts. On July 8th, 2020, the nation of Legtopia had a rebellion, and it didn't end until August 28th, 2020. The purpose of the first rebellion was a retaliation towards Wilson's leadership during the Green and Tan War. Luckily, it stopped before it got worse. A month later, after the first rebellion, a second one was formed, and this time it was a riot. The people of Legtopia were gathered, and this time they were out for Wilson. They were armed and with any weapon they had or picked up, and wanted to storm the brick house and kill him. Wilson called military and police support to protect him and the capital from the rioters, but as the soldiers and police were guarding the capital, one soldier was under attack by one of the rioters and began to fire his gun unintentionally, which later resulted everyone else to open fire into the crowd. This moment in Legtopian history was known as the Legtopian Massacre. 10 of the rioters were killed, while 6 were injured. 2 hours after the incident, Wilson and his Senate were killed by Sakal Mishnat. Once Wilson was killed, Sakal managed to become leader of Legtopia and forced everyone to join his war against the Aryan forces. As most people were joining him, those that remained loyal to Wilson were executed and killed if they didn't accept Sakal as their new leader. And what happened here is Sakal, reason why he did what he did was because he didn't like that other foreign powers have invaded their territory, and he wanted Legtopia back just the way it was. So that was the reason for his war against the Aryan nations. And this would have happened, and if it did happen, then Legtopia would be independent. But as for Sakal, he was terrible with strategy, and most of the people were forced to join him, while others were, of course, along with his idea. And there was only a small group that went along with his idea. So, now we're going to get into what happens during this time period. Sakal's war lasted for a few weeks, and on October 24th, 2020, Sakal was killed in battle, and everything was brought back in its place. William was elected to be the new leader of the country after Legtopia was recovered from the rebellion or the war. A month after William was elected leader of the country, the Great Armenian Civil War began. They sided with the Armenian forces and fought till the end of the war. They have also fought against the Galactic forces during the first and second invasion. Legtopia has been invaded by the communist forces during World War Plastic II. They have held good defensive strategies, but were outmatched by the overwhelming forces. They committed mass evacuation and then returned to fight in the end of the war. After the end of the Second Plastic War, Legtopia remained neutral until June 15th of 2021. Grayton found out that William's main goal was to invade the weaker nations and then try to overthrow Greenland. Within 5 days, however, William was defeated and killed on June 20th, resulting the country of Legtopia to go back into democracy instead of a monarchy. Because during this time, William wanted to become king of Ireland, and at first everything was alright, but then since Grayton discovered the secret plan that he's been having, they had to stop him, so they stopped him, and Legtopia was back into democracy as they were before. And we're going to continue from here. Legtopia over the years, part 3. Legtopia remained neutral until October 5th of 2021. They were a peacekeeping force during the Industry War. And the Industry War was a war where Kandahar was trying to help Australia advance their technology by making airports and basically helping them out with trade and income. But they were attacked by Red Hotian rebels that fled from Red Hot to try to sabotage the events. But Red Hot didn't have no part in it. And there was a war between the Australians, Kandaharians, and the Legtopians at this time. But it resulted within a few days because the Red Hotian rebels were put down and Australia recovered very quickly, and they continued the industrialization of Australia, which was the first actual short war in their Legtopian history. So let's continue. On the last week of October, they were invaded by the communist nations again during the Equality War. In the end, they suffered a lot of damage from the times before, and caused a hard, long reconstruction of the country. In the month of January, during the communist invasion, Legtopia was invaded once again. And in the end of the invasion, Legtopia got sick of being a puppet for communist forces. So the problems gave an idea for Prime Minister John McCain to make a deal with King Sada of Basaja for military protection, which was successful, and Legtopia is still guarded today. And Legtopia was isolated from other war campaigns since then, but it will be on a ready's notice when a war has to be involved. Now, King Sada was alive during this time when John McCain made a deal with him for military protection. Now, since he's dead, you're wondering who's still giving him military protection. Well, his son, King Harold, is the new king and is his son. So he is still ruling his empire and making sure that his nations are military protected from their enemies. And he's on a ready's notice, making sure that things are well and are okay with everyone else during the time. Now, Legtopia has been at peace for several years, and if you're wondering if Legtopia will ever get like a chance to become independent like everyone else, because most countries were independent, well, we don't exactly know. Well, I don't personally exactly know, but it could be an idea, and maybe sometime in the future they probably will be independent and have their own government system instead of being puppets to big and powerful nations. So we will have to see about that. But that's all for Legtopian history, and I'll see you guys Thursday, because I'm going to be taking a break on Wednesday. So on Thursday, we're going to be doing the history of the Maya, and we're going to learn about its history, what happened, and stuff like that, like this video. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. and share this video with your friends and family. And if we get to 60 subscribers, like I said before in my previous videos, I'll do a big thank you video to you guys, and also more content of different kinds will come up. Maybe even reaction videos to some music, or some other Army Men history videos, or war breakdowns. Either way, it will be ready for you when you guys reach my goal to 60 subscribers. So, peace.